Yeah, congratulations on the film. I've actually done it twice in 2 days.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Probably tells you that I love it, and excited to talk to you about it. So tell me a bit about creating this on-screen relationship together, particularly as you were playing people, real-life people.
I think it all started with your audition.
Yeah.
I met Jonno on his final audition, and we were in Australia. The poor guy had literally flown in the night before. It's not the quickest flight in the world, and he had a COVID stick up his nose, and I went over to him and was like, hello, want to make sure you feel calm. This is a bit stressful, and I think it just sort of built off there. We were really partners.
Yeah, I mean, our introduction scene, our kind of meet cute, was the last thing we shot. So we were out there for 3-4 months building this camaraderie, this kind of trust with each other, like being each other's support networks, and then we finally got to then embrace that relationship. And Michael loves ad-libs. He loves having actors throw each other off their kind of their constant track, as it were. So we just played and we had a good time, we had a really good laugh, and we got to flirt and enjoy each other's company, and just, it was a really important relationship in that film, right? The Rob and Nicole relationship, especially at the beginning, is supposed to be this coming up for air for the audience. You know, you've just gone through Come Undone, leaving the band, and you need Rob to have some sort of light, and Nicole and Raechelle is absolutely that. So we just wanted to make sure that that flamboyance and that oxygen was there living within them, and I think, you know, we had a good time doing it.
Yeah.
And what was your way into playing each of these characters? Was there something particular that helped you unlock playing them?
I would say that Nicole is someone who is really driven by her heart, and I am definitely guilty of having my heart on my sleeve, and I think that is a really nice thing to latch onto, and I think it's probably what drew Robbie to her. She sort of leads with that, and there's no pretense there, and so being able to try and just have her show up as herself and go, this fame thing's a bit weird, but I'm really excited to be here, and you're kind of cute, and blah, blah, blah. That's kind of how I try to move through the world, that honesty, so trying to latch onto that and bring that to the front was really a focus of mine.
For me, I always like to work physically, no matter if it's motion capture or not. So I like to see, where does that person lead from in their body? You know, you tell so much by not just what you say, but how you say it and how you present yourself to that person. And Rob's got such a distinct way of presenting himself, especially on stage. Now that is something that you can research till the cows come home. There are so many videos of his performances. But then how do I carry him when he's not got the cameras in front of him, when he's not on stage? And having the antithesis of those two versions of himself was a really fun thing to explore, and allowed me to feel like there was a great range within the character.
And what about the early Take That sequences? I was just talking to Robbie about the gay club sequences. What were they like to film? And that choreography is pretty amazing.
Just like pure hedonism. It was amazing. Like, actually, one of the choreographer, I did a lot of research of the original choreography and brought a lot of that in. But I was basically a bedroom dancer growing up anyway, and Take That choreography is just full of abundance and energy, and it's like crotch heavy. So it was, there I was in my grey onesie, just grinding on thin air kind of for the like days on days on days, and like the Running Man. It was awesome. It was such a lot of fun.
And the She's the One sequence is just spellbinding to watch. What was it like to perform that, and then for you to watch it, because there's so many visual effect elements involved in that?
Totally. It was really a lot to take on when I first met Ashley Wallen, our choreographer. I grew up listening to Robbie's music, and the first time I'd ever heard She's the One was at Nebworth, and he dedicates it to a woman named Kelly in the audience. And then all of a sudden I was there and I was like, I'm the one in this is weird. And so it was a lot to sort of wrap my head around, but then once you get into the dancing, it's so whimsical, and I got to be like Ginger Rogers. Like, it was amazing, and it was a lot of effort. I mean, that dress was cutting me to pieces, and it's quite heavy, and working on the day, it's yeah, I mean, Michael is a perfectionist, so you want to make sure you get the right thing, but I think you can see in the end product, like, it's worth every second of it.
Yeah, I think it's such a perfect example of a musical when words are no longer enough. And there's such a beautiful connection between the two, that how else do we express that? And so we're going to go into a song, we're going to go into dance. But then also pairing that with the treacherous road that you see they have ahead of them, and we see that as an audience member, they don't get to see at that point. It's so poignant and touching and heartbreaking, and every time I watch that back now, it really affects me. I really feel for the two of them as people.
Raechelle, Jonno, thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much.